What's going on, guys? This is Dr.Love307, and I have a couple of cool other YouTubers with me right here. If you guys want to introduce yourself.
Yo, what it is? BlackSuperSayain on the mic. Y'all know who it is. Mr. Butter Smooth on the mic.
And what's up, Nabs? It's Platinum TDX's Dragon Xtreme, and welcome to the Dragon Ball Xenoverse discussion between Dr.Love, BlackSuperSayain, and I. And let's get this debate started, because I have a lot of things going on in my head right now.
Alright, so who go kick it off?
So I guess we can kick it off with today's news. The GT characters and Super Vegito.
Do it.
Yes, that was so awesome.
When I seen that, my reaction was just, it's kind of crazy.
Bro, we all saw your reaction. We all saw yours. Oh.
No. It was worse than that. Like, seriously. I, jumped out of my seat because, I was sitting down and I seen it on somebody's video. I didn't believe it at first. So I went to, Saiyan Island to check it out, and it was legit. And, I went, ape crazy on it. So,
yeah, man. That was the same with me, though. But, how I was selling Platinum before we started recording, my reaction, I was talking to my friend, and I saw the news, and it was completely just, I was just speechless after I saw it. It was just insane.
I just couldn't compose myself any longer.
And now we're just waiting on them to announce Battle of Gods characters, right?
From my point of view, I can kind of confirm that, because with them being in Battle of Z, there's no use of them not being in it.
True. Especially with them, the new movie coming out, right? If it's supposed to follow up on Battle of Gods, right? Fans would just be, disappointed if they just didn't include them in there. That would be kind of stupid.
True.
Sorry about that. My Skype was being stupid, but I'm back.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But following up on that, that's sort of true, but the movie doesn't come out until Gold Week, which is about
that's
April, the last week of April, first week of May. So either they're going to be DLC or either we might miss out on them.
Yeah, I don't think we miss out on them though.
And with the Japanese release for Xenoverse being February 5th, I think it's going to come out the 3rd for us. Well, for the United States, because
we usually get games on Tuesdays.
Yes, that's what I've been saying a lot on a lot of comment sections, where people have been saying we're gonna get it late February, and I'm like, not really. Usually it's in between 2 to 3 days on Japan's release that we'll get it, and usually we get the Dragon Ball games before they do.
Yeah.
So.
And it also wouldn't make sense for them to forget Battle of Gods character. Well, not forget, just leave them out, because in my opinion, any character that's in Battle of Z should be in any other DBZ game.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually very true for me too.
That's why. That's also why I'm looking forward to Super Saiyan Bardock.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
he was
so
my favorite.
cool.
He had the least amount of card slots in Battle of Z, but he was still my favorite to play as.
If they put
that
in
was
this
true.
game, that is going to be so epic.
So epic.
Exactly.
I'm going to lose my shit. I'm just gonna lose it.
Dude.
So getting into the actual core gameplay, what were your favorite things about the fighting mechanics?
Well,
do you want to go first or me?
Nah, you can go first.
All right, you right. Okay, so my favorite part of the mechanics were that how it's actually because I didn't get to actually physically play it myself, but from what I've heard and from what my friends said, they said it's really more skill based than just rushing in and mashing stuff and hoping that you get something out of a combo and just going in. I heard that. Well, not really from her. From what I like about the mechanics, it's that it's more strategy and skill based. How back in the day it was with the other Dragon Ball Z games than how it was with the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation, when it was more just how I said earlier, just go in, kind of do whatever, and then just hope whoever wins. I like how it's actually you have to gain some skill and actually practice and learn. Excuse me, and learn how to play the game before you actually just go in and actually be top tier. By the time it's like the first day you already got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I remember I did a match and I was getting my butt kicked at first, and then like I like made a huge comeback, and that's why I want to see in more Dragon Ball Z games. Because in like Rage and Blast and all that, it was more like if you got the upper hand on your opponent first, you were almost undoubtedly gonna win. But in this game, it's more like no matter how far down you are, if you're skilled enough, you can still come back.
I think my favorite part about
Yeah.
the mechanics was not when people could teleport behind each other, but when you strung together your combos and whatnot, you could like make up a new combo that wasn't originally supposed to be meant for you to do it, and you could just do it anyways. And I've seen Rhyme Style do it a lot. With Meteor Crash, like he would do a combo that would usually knock your opponent away, but before they knock him away, he would do Meteor Crash and then start up another combo.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
I liked that. I liked how they did that too.
going back to that teleporting thing, I like the way where like if you're in an offensive combo and if you're in an offensive combo and like you're like say if you're like almost at the end of your combo and you can't really string anything else together, you can do like an offensive teleport behind your opponent and then
Yes.
go ahead and continue that combo. I really
Yeah.
like that. That makes for a lot of good lengthy combos.
I've seen that in Tenkaichi and Raging Blast, but they weren't as they didn't pull it off as well as Xenoverse has so far.
Yeah, you just go like beside your opponent and
Yes.
sometimes it's like miss.
And in
Yeah,
Raging,
that's true.
in Raging Blast, you could only go on the side. Tenkaichi, you couldn't go behind them, but you could go like backwards or on one of their sides.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like I like how in Xenoverse it's more towards like how you said where you can teleport and then start up new stuff and make other combos with it. Whereas in like Tenkaichi and Raging Blast, it was more like you start the combo and then you teleport and you go beside them or something and then you just finish it instead of starting something new with it.
especially since like I see where people would say this game looks like Battle of the because I've made the same misconception.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comment sections, like not a lot of people, but some people who are still skeptical about the whole Dragon Ball game, they say that it looks like Battle of Z and the combat looks floaty, which I see what they're talking about in the earlier like trailers and stuff. But in the New York Comic Con thing, they fixed that. The hitboxes are a lot more smoother. It's all around better, but the graphics, like, I wouldn't say the graphics, I would call it an art style, because the graphics itself are really good. The cell shading
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, I seen that on your video earlier.
Yeah,
Where
I
you
don't really
talk-
like the art style of the game. It looks a little too, like, their clothes are attached to them too much. I
Yeah.
don't know, it looks weird.
I can see that. I personally like the art style, but I can completely see where you're coming from. Like
Yeah.
looking at the graphics, I can totally understand why someone would have that opinion towards it.
I would say like Xenoverse and maybe like Raging Blast 2 have the best graphics because like art style, let's say that. Because in Raging Blast 2 it looks pretty much exactly like the anime, just a little more polished up and more game like, but it still looks really good. And then in Xenoverse it's more a little more realistic.
I think it looks manga looking,
Yeah.
which is really cool. I think I like
Yeah, I
Raging
like
Blast
that.
1's the best, though. I like Raging Blast 1's.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah, I
clean
like
and
Raging
simple.
Blast 1's a little over Raging Blast 2's because with Raging Blast
Yeah.
2, it was better, but at the same time, they looked a little more like action figures and clay models
Yeah.
than like video
That's
games,
why That's what I was thinking. They look like a little too shiny and more like dolls or something more than like the characters themselves.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about the no cutscenes? Like, I don't know what to think about that. Like, I think they're taking away a major part of Dragon Ball. I think they should have, like, a specific mode where you can play with the cutscenes on.
Yeah,
would
like
like
some
that.
battles, some ultimates and specials, like I'd say like Father Son Kamehameha, right? The Father Son Kamehameha kind of looks a little weird because like I didn't notice it at first because you can barely see Goku during that attack. So it's like you're basically just doing like a regular Kamehameha. There's nothing really else there really, but like some attacks I think should have a cutscene because I don't see how the Spirit Bomb is gonna work. You're gonna have to they're gonna have to make that charge a lot faster. And I don't know if it's gonna be as big or is it gonna be like smaller than what we're used to. Because without a cutscene, it's just basically like a quick time event. And
Yeah.
like if you notice in the network test, you can cancel ultimates and supers and stuff like that if you hit them while they're still in a certain amount of charge time. Well, are you going to be able to cancel a spirit bomb? Because if so, that's going to make it a huge disadvantage to kind of use that move.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see that too. Like my personal opinion, I'm mixed with it because for like they said they're trying to make this more like towards like a fighting thing that can be competitive but also played casually. For the fighting people side, for if you're just trying to get some competitive matches in, no cutscenes would be a little better for that. But for more towards the casual side, like the just playing it overall as a Dragon Ball game side, it's like like the cutscenes. There's like how you guys said, there's just some ultimates and some supers that just need the cutscenes, you know, because like it's like its thing.
It's
but
a staple.
yeah, it's like it makes it more like it gives you that feel of the super, like they had like the anime, like the Father Son Kamehameha. If you just do a normal Kamehameha, but then with Goku behind you, it's like, I mean, you can tell it's that super move, but it doesn't have that same feel that like Budokai 3 or Raging Blast 2 or like Tenkaichi 3 would give you when you would pull off that super, you know?
Yeah, because I've seen it in the trailer. It's just Gohan just jumping into the Kamehameha and just pushing it. And it's not really, like, it's not immersive. It's more so just like, take that.
Yeah.
So I think...
With the story, I wonder if they're going to do it like the cutscene things. Are they going to do it like Budokai 3 style where it's like a cutscene and then you dive into the battle and then another cutscene? Or is it, I can't remember what game it was, but I think there was a game where like in the middle of a cutscene, like say for the Gohan versus Cell Kamehameha class, right? In the middle of that cutscene, you just like be able to like press buttons and do a little mini game. And then if you won, you know, it continued on with the story. Or is it going to be more like how they're used to doing it?
I honestly think it's going to be something like the Naruto one, mainly because, like, when they were in the trailer with the character Bandai and Goku, I think you were telling someone else to be their mentor and Goku was surprised or something like that, and then you could continue on to the hub world and just move around and stuff. I don't know if it's going to work like that, or if it's going to be like Tenkaichi, but I would prefer it to be more free, like Naruto's story, whereas though you just talk to someone and then move on about your thing.
Yeah.
Or either
I
take
prefer
a
it
quest.
to be like that. I think it might be like a little more towards the Naruto one, because if you remember in the screenshots, when it showed the created character talking to Yamcha, like randomly in that one Toki Toki City or West City or wherever it were. Yeah, I think it was like West City or something, because that didn't really look like Toki Toki City, but I'm still curious to see how it would be, though. Like, I want it to be more free, like how it is in the Naruto one, and how it kind of looks like it would be. But if it were to be a little more like the Tenkaichi 3 one, where it's like the cutscene, then you go in, start fighting, and then the cutscene again, I wouldn't mind that, but I would much prefer it to be a little more like the Naruto one.
Yes.
Yeah. Going back to that Yamcha thing you were talking about, I was watching the Shonen Games interview that I was telling a lot of people about, and they actually mentioned that they were talking about how some stages, because as you know, we can fight in like Toki Toki City. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fight in like West City, but like they were talking about how in some stages besides Toki Toki City, you could actually roam around and actually interact with people. So I'm wondering if while you're doing a story mission, and they were also saying about the mentor system that you know, you could talk to anyone, and the NPCs around the game would actually give you side quests for the story. So, like, I'm thinking he was getting a side quest from Yamcha, but is that during, like, a story mission, or is it just, like, in another location?
Also, like, I've heard in the Shonen Games thing that everything is based around in Toki Toki City. Like, everything you do is in Toki Toki City.
Yeah.
But with that Yamcha thing, he was clearly not in Toki Toki City, or in a part that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But it really looks like West City.
Yeah, in what's it called? Sergio's M3. He actually found the second half of Toki Toki City's map in the data files, and it was showing. Yeah, it was showing a lot of stuff. Like I was speculating that it had the World Tournament reception, the local battle reception he said was in there. And so that's why I'm thinking for the single lobby that they showed us, you remember how we had the single and the multi-lobby. Well, I'm thinking single lobby, since that was a network test, we had to be online. But in the full game, I'm pretty sure if you're offline, you go to the single lobby, and that's how you do everything.
That would
I'm
be
pretty
pretty
sure
cool. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how I think they're going to do that.
So what do you guys think? Like, how are they going to incorporate the GT story? Do you think they're going to just like flow through it, or either like, because we know for a fact that Battle of Gods has to be in it. So how are they going to like put those two together, or have some like, are they going to combine universes? Because GT is not a part of the actual canon Dragon Ball Z. It's a part of a different universe. So how are they going to incorporate those two together?
True. What maybe, I don't know, because they said this story is not like, there might not be like a main story that you just go through like how in other Dragon Ball Z games,
It
but
might
just
be like
you go in
Budokai
different
3s.
sections. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is, because how they also said how it's like it's really interactive, how like depending on what you do and how you choose to do things depends on how the story goes. So maybe depending on how you go through with the stuff will lead you to the GT route, or you can just go into it individually if you want to. But if I could go either way, maybe there's some way that they can do both where it's like, I hope they make it a little more like how the Budokai 3 story is, but you don't have to, if you want to like do some parts of the story, you don't have to start from the way beginning and then just to go to that story, how you can just go there if you want to. But to make it a little better, in my opinion, I think that they should make it how, if it's your first time going through the story, then you should just do it like in like that specific order and route that, depending on what decision you make, is what happens. And then after, you can like, depending if you make another decision, something else happens, or like if you can do that and stuff, instead of having to go all the way back to like the Saiyan saga or whatever saga they're gonna do in Dragon Ball, if it's gonna be in there, all the way to like GT just to have to do it,
Yep. The audio cut out a little bit there. I had to restart the program. It only missed about 5 seconds though, so it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking, see, that I didn't know that they were saying that. I forgot all about that. I was thinking it was going to be like a straight story, like just going through, because I completely forgot a lot of stuff that they said in the past interviews. But dang, what was I saying? I was thinking the GT and stuff. I didn't actually think at first, because I was thinking about that earlier when they announced it. I was like, how are they going to incorporate that? Well, what I really thought it was, I thought they were going to have GT be like parallel quest missions. And I was wondering if they were going to have cutscenes in parallel quests, but I don't think so. Because like in Dragon Ball Online, right, the main story missions were called Time Machine quests. And Sergio M3 found data files showing for Time Machine quest, just like they were called in Dragon Ball Online. So I was thinking that was going to be the main story, and then what was going to be the just extra stuff was going to be the parallel quest. But now that you mention it, going through different times and stuff, how your decisions affected, I think you'll unlock different kind of time machine quests as you make different decisions.
Or maybe it'll be something like Raging Blast 1's, like how they had you choose the different arcs that you wanted to play.
Oh yeah.
So like there was the What If saga along with the Saiyan saga and whatever. So maybe the GT saga is completely cut off from the other sagas, and you could choose that one solely and go through it. So that would be pretty
That'd be interesting. That would be cool.
Me personally, I would like to see GT be incorporated into the main story, but I know a lot of people will disagree with that. But
because I want to see Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the cutscene. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I mostly just want to see it mainly because I want to be able to have my created character battle alongside Super Saiyan 4 Goku against Omega Shenron.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
As a Super Saiyan 4.
That'd be awesome. But
so that also raises another question.
What question?
Will your created character be able to go up to Super Saiyan 4?
Exactly. If they can, then that would actually take a little bit of work, maybe, because I know that Super Saiyan 4 Goku's hair and Super Saiyan Vegeta's hair were a little bit similar, except for like the front, but like the back kind of looked similar. So like how there's all these different hairstyles that your created character can get. Either they're just gonna have like a few different hairstyles that depending on what you get does that, or oh excuse me,
Yeah.
or if there is gonna be Super Saiyan 4 for your created character, are they gonna have to make individual Super Saiyan 4 hairstyles for each individual hairstyle, or like how would they do that? You know?
I was thinking that, like, especially for the body types with the fur, they would have to model for every body type and every hair and head and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
in all, I would say that would be about a week or two, 2 weeks progress. I mean, what is the word? Um,
Programming.
I'm just gonna say progress. I don't know. I forgot the word. It was on the tip of my tongue. But it's gonna be like 2 weeks worth of work, I guess. Because they have to model, and mainly most of it's going to be modeling for the different body types and head structures and hairs and stuff like that. And they said there's over like 400 customizable items, including facial
Yeah.
features and stuff. So
Mm.
they're gonna have to incorporate that. They're also gonna have the Super Saiyan eye line and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So all in all, it would be a pretty hefty job for modeling, and also they
Depending
would have to get it with animation and stuff.
from what they
Yeah.
showed us, so far, I'm pretty sure the game. I know if this game has really been in development about 3 years, right? I know the story is like done. They're basically just like
Voice acting.
incorporate, yeah, in voice
Yeah.
acting and incorporating what they can right now. So and some of the stuff that they said was in this like the word I can't even pronounce it right now. But they were saying it's inconclusive, and I think like the Frieza and Cell kind of transformation thing, I think that's done. They're just not telling us about it.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah.
almost like done with the game at this point. So if they wanted to, they could spend a little extra time doing like what you said, spend like a week or two designing the Super Saiyan 4 stuff. However, I don't actually think they'll do that. If we can go up to Super Saiyan 3 as a Saiyan, I would be surprised because
Sure.
I don't still to this point, I don't see how Namekians and Majins are going to be able to transform. And I really don't see how Earthlings are going to be able to transform unless they get like unlock potential and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elder unlock ability and stuff like that. So like depending on how they do those kind of transformations, that's when I say our Saiyan would be able to go up to like Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4. But at this point, we know they're going up to Super Saiyan 1, but are they going to be able to go up to Super Saiyan 2 is the question.
Also,
That's actually yeah.
what
You
about the giant transformations?
Yeah,
yeah. That's also true.
Because we've seen
if
from
they
Sergio the giant leak, whatever.
yeah, if they actually do have giants in this game, then there goes the transformation for Namekians. Because as you know, in Dragon Ball Online, they did the I think it was the Great Namekian or something like that, where they got like giant, I think. And
Yeah.
so if giant characters are in the game, that's probably going to be the transformation for Namekians. So there we go. But
True.
I'm kind of still scratching my head over whether I want giants to be playable in the game or not. Because how are they gonna? They need to really spend time balancing them out. Not because I know people are gonna ask me about that. Not limiting them to the point where they don't feel like giants. I mean, just like balancing them out, and not making them so OP. You know?
Yeah.
I think they
Like
were
I
fine
think
in
that they should.
Tenkaichi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked them in Tenkaichi. I really did. But in this one, if they're gonna make it kind of like that, I hope they make it a little more to the point where the giant characters are gonna be. They're gonna feel a little more like characters that you'd actually want to play as. Because like
Mhm.
when because like whenever someone goes like they're gonna play as like a giant character, they're either just like joking around with it or trolling it, or they're just like doing it for the lulz or something. Like giant characters. If I wanted to play against someone like in a competitive match or just even a for fun match, like unless it was a giant versus giant match, like I'm not gonna even attempt to transform into a giant during battle.
Yeah.
Sure, because
'Cause-
like I think the whole giant thing is just so you can get the aspect of, oh, say for example the Goku versus Vegeta fight. Um, I think it's mainly for like recreating epic battles that you've seen in the anime, or
Yeah.
like just for
That's
storyline purposes.
that's why I was saying I think they're mainly just gonna maybe be bosses only if they are in the game. But if they're playable characters, another thing I just now thought about, the maps are way bigger in Xenoverse than they are in Tenkaichi. So if you thought it took a while to get from point A to B in Tenkaichi 3, how long is it gonna take you in Xenoverse?
In Raging Blast 2, I
True.
think the wasteland was much bigger than Pod Landing.
They are?
Yeah.
It is?
I think it was much
Well,
bigger
might be. Yeah.
because
What's it?
then again that could have been like the barrier for network test purposes. That could have been just for the PlayStation and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they look a lot bigger, and I'd hate if they, you know, maybe because with the PS4, right, it's much more capable than the PS3 is. So maybe you can make the maps like a little bigger on the PS4. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, like extend the
Wait.
boundary.
Yeah.
True. But also speaking with that, like when you were talking from getting to point A to point B. Oh yeah, and after this, I gotta go real quick, so I'm gonna hurry up and say this before I leave. But with how you said getting to from point A to point B, like you know how like when you dash in Xenoverse, it's like freaking fast. Like it's a huge boost up compared to what we've gotten from like the other ones. Like they did like I remember in Raging Blast 2, you would go like a little faster, but it wasn't like significant by much. And I know in Tenkaichi 3s it was pretty fast, but anyway, like if you as long as you're dashing, I don't think it should be a problem in Xenoverse, depending on the size of the map at least, and also how with the range of the maps, because you know you can either do 1v1 or 2v2, 3v3, 3v1, whatever, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be like depending on how many people are actually on the map to how big the barrier
That is true.
Because like it shouldn't be like super huge if you're just doing a 1v1, because like I don't know. I don't think it would affect it that much, but it could have some issues. As for like if you're doing a 3v3, the barrier shouldn't be too small, you know?
That is true.
Otherwise, it'd just be
A cluster.
a battle of Z all over again.
Yeah.
But I honestly support like huge maps on 1v1s, mainly, especially for Dragon Ball battles. As long as like when you knock them back, it goes farther. But I really don't like the knockbacking in that game. Like whenever you finish a combo, it knocks you completely back once.
Yeah.
I think you should have to knock them like I've seen the stomach punch. I've seen the stomach punch from Raging Blast 2's perspective. You would have to hit him twice with it to get him to knock away.
Yeah,
But in
that's
Xenoverse,
why.
Yeah, I completely agree with that too. But
so I think it should be a
Yeah.
combo modifier. Like if you hit him with the stomach, in the stomach, you would have to like hit him harder, with like one more punch in it to send him flying instead of like hitting him in the stomach and then fly away. That way you can follow up with another combo per se.
Yeah.
So, I think we should wrap things up right now. That's 28 minutes.
Yeah,
Jesus, time
that's a while.
Time
It's a while.
flies. So, my name's Platinum TDX. I was here today with BlackSuperSayain and Dr.Love. You guys can subscribe to their channels in the link below, and I'm sure they'll leave all of our links in the description of their videos. Be sure to thumbs up this video depending on which channel you're watching, and see you guys in the next video.
peace.